All right, so here's our last example. If I'm going to have to solve this inequality, what I'm going to do is find the degree, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 x's. None of them have extra exponents, so it's just how many x's I have. So the degree is 4. That's even, which means they either both go up or both go down. And because the leading coefficient is 1 times 3 times 1 times 1, that's a positive 3. That means the leading coefficient tells me they're both going to be up. It's even, so they're both together, and it's positive, so they both go up. So let's draw the picture in here. The x-intercepts are going to be at 0, at 2/3, which is right there, at -5, and at -2. So I know this picture looks like that and looks like that, okay? We just got to figure out what's going on in between here, okay? So pick points between there. Pick a number like -3 and plug it in. That would be -3 times -3 minus 2, -3 plus 5, -3 plus 2. And decide if that's positive or negative. Clean it up. That's going to be a -11. That's going to be a +2. And that's going to be a -1. And because that's 3 negatives being multiplied together, that would be a total of a negative. Again, I don't care what the number would be, just is it positive or negative? It's below the axis. Now pick the next number. If I plug in a -1, that'd be -1 times 3 times -1 minus 2, -1 plus 5, -1 plus 2. That's going to be -1 times -5 times 4 times 1. That's 2 negatives multiplied together makes that positive, so they attach above. And if you plug in a number like, let's say, 1/2, if you plug in 1/2, you're going to find out that this becomes negative, because the only thing that would be negative at that point is this one right here. 3 times negative, 1/2 is 3/2, minus 2 is a -1/2. But that's going to be a +1/2, that's going to be 5.5, that's going to be 2.5. Those are positive times a positive times a positive times that one negative, so it'd be a negative. So there's my picture. What is that asking for? That is asking for things that are below the axis. That would be from here to here and from there to there. So that would be from -5 to -2 union, and it goes from 0 to 2/3. Now, do I use brackets or parentheses? Well, it doesn't have the or equals to, so it's just going to be parentheses around both. And notice I didn't have infinities because both of my infinities are positives. This question is asking for the negatives, less than 0 or the negatives, that'd be below the graph. So that's my solution set.